Alright, what's up guys? In today's video, we will be discussing how I bench 315 and run a 452 mile. So some background about me, I'm a 180 pound natural bodybuilder. I've been bodybuilding for 8 years. I've been running for 16 years. And when I started bodybuilding 8 years ago, I didn't want to give up running, so I figured out a way how to do both. And first, we're going to start this off by going over the routine I follow to bench 315. Okay, so my routine is as follows. Monday, I train shoulders and forearms heavy. Tuesday, lats and biceps heavy. Wednesday, chest and triceps heavy. Thursday, lats and shoulders. This is a high volume day. Friday, biceps and triceps, high volume. Saturday, traps, incline dumbbell bench press, incline barbell bench press, heavy. Sunday, legs. I lift 7 days a week. I don't take a rest day. I treat legs as a rest or recovery day because it's not training any upper or push or pull muscle group. Now, this scheme I follow, is unorthodox. It's a pretty slow means of progression. However, it's actually extremely effective for a couple of reasons. One, it allows you to truly build strength. Once you get to a certain point, as a natural bodybuilder who's lean, or just anyone who's been in the gym for a considerable amount of time, who isn't trying to gain a ton of fat while bulking, um, or trying to maintain their leanness. Uh, Putting on strength is becomes incredibly difficult, right? The stronger you get, the slower the progress becomes. So while this routine does seem slow, I would encourage you all to just keep an open mind. But it's as follows. So you want to start at with a weight that is approximately 70% of your 1 rep max. So for example, if you bench press 300 pounds, you want to choose you want to make your working set to about 210 pounds. Okay. So the scheme is as follows: week 1, 4 sets of 3; week 2, 4 sets of 4; week 3, 4 sets of 5; week 4, 4 sets of 6; week 5, 4 sets of 7; week 6, 3 sets of 8. And once you get to week 6, once you can do 3 sets of 8, you want to add 5 pounds to your working set. Okay. So this is slow progress, but you have to think you're adding 5 pounds every 6 weeks. So that means over the span of a year, your working set is increasing 45 pounds. But when you think about it, right, you're going from 210 to 245 pounds as your working set. Okay. Like, how many guys do you see in the gym, in your commercial gym, who have their working set as 255 pounds? Not many. It's pretty hard to do. But if you progress slowly and take your time, you can do it. Okay. Um, a huge mistake I see a lot of guys make is that they train with percentages that are too high, and it doesn't allow them to build true fundamental strength, right? So when you do something by starting at like 70% and you master 70 to 75%, and you master 75 to 80%, it increases your foundation of strength. So you're fundamentally stronger than guys who skip the 70 to 80% range. A lot of guys train anywhere from like in the 80 to 85% range, their which is their working set, but they haven't built the foundation to support that, right? And so what you want to do is you just want to slowly build strength over time, because you have to think about it. If increasing your working set by 10 pounds was super easy, and then like people would have their working set super high, right? People would be lifting really heavy weight all regularly, but lifting really heavy weight in the gym is not regular. It's not normal. It's only a certain amount of people can do it. Um, and so while this progress does seem slow, you have to look at the bigger picture. Like right now, I'm doing 245 pounds on bench press, 4 sets of 7. This time next year, assuming that everything goes well and I don't get injured, I'll be doing 290 pounds, 4 sets of 7. Okay, which is a ton. No one's doing that as a working set in the gym, right? And these are all controlled reps. Like, no one's doing that control. All right. Now for me personally, my weakness, I have two, um, off my chest, and my body is not used to, or my failure before I hit 315, I wasn't used to lifting heavy weight, because I only trained at like, no heavier than like 85% of my um, 1 rep max for reps. And so what I do is I incorporate heavy singles every week. So starting at like 85% of my 1 rep max, what I do is I'll do a heavy single. Okay, I'll do one heavy single at about 85% of my 1 rep max. So like right now, for example, my 1 rep max is 315 pounds on bench press. So what I'll do is I'll warm up and I'll build up to a heavy single of 280 pounds. I'll do 1 rep of that, and then every 2 weeks, I'll increase my 1 rep max working set by 5 pounds. So weeks 1 through 2, I'll build up to 280 pounds, two sets of 1 rep. Weeks 3 through 4, um, 2 sets of 1 rep, 285 pounds. Weeks 5 through 6, 2 sets of 290, so on and so forth until I get to weeks 11 through 12, in which I'll finish at like um, two sets of 305 pounds. I test my 1 rep max every 12 weeks, um, just so I can have, because the idea is to gain 10 pounds to my max every 12 weeks, and that should be doable following this scheme. But yeah, just give this scheme a try. It's unorthodox, it's super slow, but it allows you to build fundamental strength. Like I can dumbbell bench press, I can dumbbell shoulder press the 100s 12 times. I can dumbbell incline bench press 120s 5 times. Dumbbell bench press the 120s seven times on flat. I can weighted dip 125 pounds 8 times through by 8. So like I'm considerably stronger than most people in the gym, and I got that way from taking progress very slowly. I've been doing this for years, and I can say it works. And also, what's beneficial about it is that there's effectively a built-in recovery. So while you're essentially while you are adding 5 pounds to your working set every 6 weeks, you have to keep in mind on week 1 you're not doing anything more than 3 reps, right? So that's kind of like a built-in recovery, even though you're going heavier. Week 2 you're doing no more than 4 reps, so that's kind of like a built-in recovery too. Of course, when you're doing 5 reps to 8 reps, it's more, but you have built-in recovery as well. Also, my weakness is off the chest, so I had to focus on doing pause bench press, which is literally where you bring the weight down to your chest and you hold it for about 2 seconds. It forces you to stay tight, and it addresses my weakness, which is off my chest, and so it helps because it forces me to stay tight off my chest. So what I'll do is I'll follow the same scheme as I do for the 85% touch and go, but I'll do about 15 pounds less. So I'll do right now. This week I did 265, 261. Next week I'll do 265, 261, and I'll just add 5 pounds every 2 weeks until I get to weeks 11 through 12, in which I'll finish. I'll finish at about 290, 261 pause. Running, how I run a 452 mile. I'm a talented runner, so I run about 50 miles a week. I run 6 days per week. I take Tuesday off. I do 4 general aerobic runs, which are just runs that are at like a zone 2 heart rate, which is essentially a pace at which you can run and have a conversation with someone. So not a hard pace, just building aerobic strength. I'll do 1 long run, which is anywhere from 15 to 20 miles. I'm training to run a 5K under 16 minutes. My long run doesn't have to be that long, but I enjoy running, so I love having a long run, and also I want to be able to transition to marathon prep pretty seamlessly. I'll do 1 workout. The workout just depends on where I am in the training block. So earlier on in the training block, I'll do more threshold and tempo work. So I'll be running at I'll be doing efforts that are about a pace I can sustain for an hour. So I'm doing this for a 5K. So I'll start at like 8 minutes, build up 25 minutes. As we get closer to race day, I'll do more track workout. So I'll do more efforts that are at like between 5K and 2 mile pace, like 5 by 1,000 at 5K pace, 1200s at 5K pace, 800s at 5K pace, 800s at 3K pace, 600s at 3K pace, 800s at 3K pace. I'll also do more anaerobic work too, 400s at mile pace, 300s at mile pace, 200s at 800-meter pace too. And I also do strides 2 times per week. And for those of you who don't know, strides are essentially just sprints or efforts that are used to help develop power and turnover and speed. I do those year round, so I'll do twice a week, 1 on flat ground, 1 on uphill. I'll do about 5 by 100-meter flat, 5 by 100-meter uphill, just twice a week for speed development and turnover. And I'll add 50 meters to my strides each week until I can do until I get to 250 meters, and then I'll just reduce it back down to 100. And I also always lift before I run. I found that running prior to lifting greatly affects my lift. It doesn't matter if I lift weights. It doesn't matter if I run at 8 a.m. and lift at 8 p.m. and have 5,000 calories in between. I found that my lift always suffers if I run prior. So I always lift before running, and I encourage you all to do the same. In terms of diet, I eat about 250 grams of protein a day. I eat a pound of chicken my first meal, a pound of ground beef, and 400 grams of sweet potato my second meal. And then to finish the day, I'll have some sort of carb and protein. And that is how I bench 315 and around 452 mile. I'm currently trying to run a 5K under 16 minutes while benching 405. So feel free to follow along if you're interested. And I offer one-on-one coaching if y'all are interested. The links in the bio. And if y'all enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.